So every day I'm usually on the construction side, and this is my dress up. This is what I usually wear for the occasion. I put it on my shoes. So I hope everybody understands that I feel this is special. So first of all, I want to thank Malik and his team of Creative Mornings for inviting me. Kat, thank you for 125 pictures, like to DACA and the Design District. You guys are a part of change in Miami. Thank you. You're proud of what you guys have done. You have been inspiration. And yes, when I knew what you were doing here, I bought property on 36th Street. So thank you very much. And to Interculture for fostering heritage. I think more people in Miami are going to, the people that live and work here, are going to understand that there is a culture here, and it is more than just the art scene, and that hopefully after you see these images that you will maybe be inspired to do something in some small or big way. So, I'm not very technically inclined. So heritage. When I was asked to talk about heritage, I was like, wow, what does that mean? Of course, I went to the dictionary first, figured it out, and some really great ideas came up. And so, if you guys ever get a chance to look it up, it is very thought-provoking. So, from Steve Berry, I came away from all the things that quite literally make us who we are. Now, the Oxford Dictionary, which was a more traditional way of defining heritage, valued objects and qualities, such as cultural traditions, countryside, historic buildings that have been passed down from previous generations. For me, I view heritage a little more symbolically, and I think of heritage as sort of this collective collaboration of ideas. And it is the point of reference, it is a positive instrument for growth. It is taking what was the past foundation and embracing that and seeing how we affect change and move forward. When you think about heritage, heritage is really every yesterday. It's whatever was. And so what we do today builds off what was, whether it's design, whether it's a building, whether it's technology, all of that is really part of our heritage. Okay. So, I've been in Miami for about 15 years. I've been doing real estate in Miami for 15 years, which makes me a veteran. I focus on sort of the urban core of Miami. It's kind of what I came from. I did it in New York, and now I'm doing Miami. And what I realized was there is an urban infrastructure here that had been overlooked for a long time. Now we're starting to see it, whether it's Wynwood, whether it's Design District. And then I went a little further up the boulevard, which of course I'm a small participant in both those areas. I went a little further up the boulevard to an area called MIMO. Now MIMO stands for Miami Mid-Century Modern. So the reason why I went up here was because I had a friend visiting from out of town. They wanted to stay on the Miami side because they wanted to do the more cultural things like Design District. And I sent her up to the New Yorker, and it was full. She couldn't get a room. And then I said, well, go to Bianca down the block. Well, she got the last room for $99. And I was like, well, there's something else going on here. People that are coming to Miami want to be part of Miami. They just don't want to be part of the beach. And so I drove up the block, and 1 week later, I bought the bag on hotel. I put it under contract. That was about 2 years ago. And once I bought the vagabond, I was like, okay, let's see what else there is. And I bought 5 motels on the boulevard. The boulevard starts from 51st Street and goes up to 76th Street. And the reason why I bought 5 motels was because part of the challenge for listing Boulevard was that it had a reputation of being for prostitution, drugs, and all sorts of things. This once fabulous boulevard that used to be the main street of Miami had turned into total disrepair. And one of the things that I thought was sort of interesting was all the neighborhoods behind it were really, really nice. So you had, Morningside, Belmead, we're going up to Short Grass, the Miami Shore. So you had all these houses. So I was like, well, why is this like that? And I was like, well, and how do you change it? So I realized that if you bought the hotels and you took away that business, you would change the look and the feel of the boulevard. So we bought 5 hotels and we are changing the look and the feel of the boulevard. So it was very funny because the Vagabond, the hotel next door called Royal, which was originally called the Knoxon, sort back to the Knoxon. I walked inside and there was a sign that said, after 5 minutes, no refund. I still have that sign. So, Miami represents, this whole boulevard, the 1950s, represents something, and that this is part of heritage. When you see things and objects and places, they represent a period in time. So this MIMO, or mid-century modern era, came about after World War II. So what happened after World War II was people came back, they were flush with cash, factories that used to make bombs and military equipment were now making automobiles. They were making Cadillac, two-tone Cadillac, Chevys, all these things. And for the first time, people in America were able to afford the automobile. And they started to get paid vacations, the roadways were getting built, and there was this movement to get in your car to reach all parts of America. Whereas without that, Miami's a pretty far distance. So without that movement, Miami would stay a little more of the swampland that it used to be. So it was the technology and the changes that came about after the war that helped develop what we know today as Miami. So the Vagabond, that's the original sign, you can see the 1950s cars, was built in 1953 on a full city block, and the architect was Robert Swartberg. He's the same architect that did the Delano. The same boulevard wasn't quite as fabulous as like the Fountain Blue. This was more for the average American. Wow, this is touchy. So I'm going to point out a few of the architectural details of the time. Remember, this was a space age. This was when we were, America was racing against Russia to get to the moon, Sputnik. A lot of the designs and inspirations were based on cars, the atomic age. So, for instance, the fin, right here, that sort of V shape, you'll see that prominently through the architecture of this building. It was taken out of the fin of a Cadillac. That was the inspiration. I'm not sure who inspired who. But, and the big flashy signs, the Vagabond signs, all the neon was a big part of that period. So here's an old photograph of the Vagabond. down below the photograph of the lobby, look at that color palette. You will see that later in our room designs, because we are as kitschy as the photograph. It was a beautiful time. You know, the word googie was derived at that time. It is an actual architectural term. It was termed by an architectural critic named Haskell, and he kind of meant it in a negative way, but I think people misunderstood him because it was viewed as sort of this sort of positive, sort of playful thing. And so the letters at the top of the hotel, as you saw in the previous image, background's kind of like squirrely, and that sort of, you know, squirreliness is called googie. That was part of the googie lettering. We brought that back. The colorfulness, the playfulness. Miami was a tropical area, so any place where it was tropical, they went sort of over the top on nautical themes. So it's one of the things that was interesting. You saw in the previous image, the old copper tone sign. The old copper tone sign was brought back to Miami, brought back to the boulevard, thanks to the Miami Association and so forth. I don't know if you guys have seen recently, a woman imitated the copper tone sign with her daughter, and it was like scandalous, you know, on the internet. Oh my God, it was so inappropriate. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got a half-naked mermaid in the bottom of my pool, and 3 naked nymphs on Biscayne Boulevard with dolphins squirting water at their private parts. So, I don't know, I don't know if we're going forward or backwards in this design. So, I'm going to share with you some before and after pictures. So, this is kind of, even when I look back and putting this slideshow together, I was almost shocked. I don't know what I was thinking when I first walked onto this property, but I was moved, and I convinced some family and friends that we should do this. It was not an economic decision. I could not pencil it out. This was just something that I felt like we had to do. So that's why I could only get family and friends to do it. Not like typical investors. So this was the before, this is an after. The pool had been filled up with construction material. This is the after. Again, above you'll see some of the classic roof design of the century. Is the concrete block railings with rectangular openings, large eyebrow detail, and this was the courtyard effect that was kind of prominent at the time. These pictures are real. So that will be, you guys can all come and see for yourselves. The reality of the place is actually even better than a photograph. Because you can feel the breezes, and we actually do the sunset there. So it's really wonderful. This is us in construction. The pool with the mermaid. I hope everybody can see the image above, but that's what the pool looked like after we dug it out. So the mermaid in the bottom of the pool had to be recreated piece by piece, tile by tile, because it was so damaged. We had to jackhammer out the remainder of the construction material, which the city so nicely had thrown into the pool. It should have been sand, but I guess nobody wanted to spend the money. The vagabond was on the demo list at the time, and it stayed on the demo list until about 3 weeks ago. So we were very close to losing it. So everybody understands in Miami, you think, oh, they're not going to get a building, why isn't somebody to stop them? Well, you can't. If you're on the demo list, the county supersedes the store. So if the county is deemed unsafe structure, so if somebody went in there and got hurt, it's liable, oh my God, there's a hurricane. So, and a lot of developers let their buildings go into disrepair because they'd rather than be knocked down, they'd have to have the obligation of doing a historic renovation. I don't know, developers typically think of a historic as like, because they realize that it's restricted and there's constraints. You know, as designers or you all probably know that sometimes when there are constraints, really wonderful things can happen. But typically designers would rather just start building. In Miami, it's actually so cheaper to go build than it is to restore. So There's the mermaid at the bottom of the pool, before and after. So from the second floor, that was the previous hallway on the right. This is what it looks like today. The entry, again, beam pools, the thin design, the large cantilevers, very typical for this sort of roadside period in the district. You know, you'll see them in those old coffee shops, car washes. There's a big movement like that in California also. It seems to be particularly popular in the tropical climates because that's what the cars are drawing. We spent a lot of money restoring the neon. The stars on the top, they're now, we had the original template, so we were able to recreate them. And then we restored the old motel signs where it was. The brickwork were very, very classic at the time. And you guys who've been in Miami may have remembered that that cloud was on the top of the brick wall, and it wasn't supposed to be there. So we restored it back to its original location, which was in the middle of the property. Just to give you an idea, we spent $65,000 just on neon. Very expensive, yeah. So, you know, a lot of people said, oh, well, just do LED, just do LED. And LED's not the same. At least not yet. Maybe somebody here will figure that one out. So right after I bought the vagabond, a friend of mine, the ex-mayor, named Diaz, we were having a drink. And he asked me, so what are you doing? I said, call me crazy, but about the vagabond hotel. And he just sort of paused, and he looked at me and he says, you know what, when we came over on the boats from Cuba, nobody had any money. On Sundays, we would used to get in the car and drive up and down the same boulevard. That was our form of entertainment, to see the neon signs on the same boulevard. Even now, I can still get chills and I said, Manny, I'm going to bring neon back to the boulevard. So after 5 hotels, you will see. And I'm hoping that it will encourage all the other property owners to do the same. So again, the hubcap lighting, actually the 3 original hubcap lights, we were able to restore and put them back. Again, the eyebrow, this sort of cobstone detail, classic at the time. There's the mermaids in front, my 3 nymphs. That amazing that they were never vandalized, right? So it was really, you know, the vagabond was as derelict as it looked on the outside. On the inside, there was a lot of beautiful Miami-Dade pine. Structurally, it was in really good condition. We were able to repurpose everything that was there, save the trouser floors. It was actually in good condition because it had stayed dry. The minute these buildings get wet, all bets off. Dade pine is such a dense wood that the termites can't eat it. But if it gets wet, then it's like chocolate. So this stayed a dry building. The architectural details stayed intact. It was antiquity. This is the before room. This is the after room. This is the color. So that's what it looked like when I walked through the building for the first time. The previous owner had down the building, all the Dade pine studs. From one end of the building to the other, though you had to watch your step because there's some holes. But this is the before, this is the after, this is the rooms. The Dade pine floors there. If you could find them, if somebody had them, it's $9 a linear foot. That's how valuable they are. So it's amazing. I see all these, you see a building get knocked down. Just tell them, wait. Let me just go get the Dade pine first, and then you can knock it down. So I actually had a few Dade pine beams sitting outside. They stole that before they stole my copper. Again, our playful colors. By the way, we had one artist draw the graphics on the back of every room in the hotel. Took him 4 months. All the details. Trying to be true to the 50s, sort of playful throwback. Our interior designer, Stefan, all the furniture was custom made. You can see what the bathrooms looked like before. So we stayed true to the floor plan. This is the rendering before. I know sometimes renderings always look better. We actually, I think we did a pretty good job. This is the property after. Then typical to the hotels, all parked on the exterior. We were grandfathered in for that so that, the cars would be in. The ticky-tacky stuff on the sidewalk is done by the Limo Association, Arts and Public Spaces. Again, the shapes, the playfulness, the rectangles, the boomerangs, all part of that foodie period. Large piece of property, 56,000 square feet. By the way, that means a lot of landscape. This is the hotel next door, formerly the Royal, now the Knoxon. And again, we wanted to distance ourselves from the previous business that was there. So we named it back, we took it back to the original name. Again, you'll see some of the details. This property not as fabulous as certainly the Vagabond. Vagabond was really an anomaly. Most other hotels were just sort of drive-ins that have full decks and so forth. But we will be adding these 24 rooms to the 45 rooms that we have. So the next project that we're doing is in the process of being built now is the Stevens Motel, 63rd of the State. Yes, Starbucks is moving from 69th Street, and this was a 1937 building in very bad condition. We worked with the city, and they gave us permission to sort of surgically demo the more traditional colonial part, and we kept the bookends of the property, the more mid-century details, and we were in the process of construction now. So that's what it looked like before. We went parking for this, where some parking was knocked down. We kept the two bookends and a modern glass box that would have been true to that period when the modern style was approved. And now, we are probably about 4 months away from being finished. King Lee, it used to be a King Lee before it was a Stevens. So all these motels went over at many periods of renovation, different color changes, pools, no pools. This is the future of that site. So that's a good example of a sort of adaptive reuse and a sort of idea of compromise of mixing old and new together and still staying true to the architectural integrity of the district. Next door, South Pacific, we have one of the best neon signs. Really looking forward to that. This is a motel with only 20 rooms. It doesn't really work. There's a reason why the Indian families in this district moved in. They took the front building and that was their home, and then they operated a 20-room motel. You can't really, it's not really feasible to run a 20-room motel. You have to stop it up and so forth. So what we did was, we're taking the 21 rooms and we're turning them into office suites. So they're going to be 20 little individual office suites. Part of that came about because we had so many people that approached us for space. You already have a little space for office, and a lot of people that live behind us wanted, the places where they could have meetings and work from their houses. So this will be 20 office suites, and the front space will be like a health food cafe. That's what it was. It's the Starbucks. There it is in this grandeur. And this is the future of compressor. And we took the liberty of taking the M and inverting it and making it a W. So it's called Wotel instead of Motel. Working hotel. But in a good way, not a bad way. So the Bayside, which is at 51st Street. Sometimes it's great when the building's not really attractive to begin with, because then the city gives you a lot of leeway. So we are able to take that. This is before, this is a rendering of after. It's a full city block. Full city blocks, and again, right behind us, Morningside. Pretty fabulous. And this is what it will be. The city encouraged us to, and actually Limo and the neighborhoods encouraged us to make the buildings more pedestrian friendly, so they allowed us to create a street entrance to what we essentially. So that's what we're doing. And I think it's exciting. I think that hopefully it gives people a better sense of Miami. It encourages people to embrace texture. Miami is a young city. I think it's important to say what we do have. It's not as much as a lot of other cities. I think this period of time was significant to us. It was a time of optimism. It was something we shall embrace. It is what connects us. It gives us soul and texture to the community that we live in now. And hopefully people will see this as, when they go, when you're there, you look at the old pictures, and you remember the old pictures, and you're there, think about what was, and think about how that